Hello, beautiful souls. Victoria Amador here with Soul Healing Tribe and the Awakening the Healer Within Training Program.com. And today I want to have a conversation about the different things that we will need to do in order for us to align all of who we are to be in harmony so that we can become who we want to be. And for a lot of us, we want to become healers and people that can help others wake up and really tap into this next level of what it means to be here now for this huge shift that is happening collectively, right? So, and one of the things that I believe that a lot of people don't understand is the shadow self. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time going over that. But first, I want to go over what is the definition of the spirit in terms of the spirit, the soul, the physical, as well as the shadow self, and how important it is to really understand the shadow self and to realize all the gifts that are provided to you through these different, the spirit, the soul, the shadow self, and so on, so that we can have everything that we need in order for us to activate the DNA codes, right? Because when we're going through the healing, we're releasing energy. When you release and you heal, all energy moves out and new energy can come in, and that energy comes from your soul. And the more energy that you have from your soul, the higher consciousness you have, so that your spirit can give you even more and tap into higher dimensions. So it's almost like we are doing the work little by little. And then the more work that you do, the more your soul can send light to you, so that then you can raise your vibration. Your spirit has the potential to go even higher. So you start opening up to like next level type of awareness and understanding that is beyond this reality. So the spirit, the innate, is this energy that obviously has a consciousness, but is very it's a very wise energy that sometimes can be trapped and can feel trapped because the lower you is not aware that it's there. It's almost like, I know that I can think. I know that sometimes I feel things and I think I'm a little intuitive, but you have no real consciousness of how powerful your spirit is. So it can feel neglected. And when it feels neglected, it's going to do a lot of things to call you attention. So the spirit and the soul with the shadow are working, and your spirit team are working, doing things so that the little you could be like, I'm getting something here. Something must be wrong because things are not working out. Or one day you wake up and you're like, something is wrong with this. The life should be about more. So when we have the spirit that is neglected, that is on standby waiting for you to one day do what you have to do, it's going to need extra time to go through its process to learn how to communicate with you, which is why sometimes we have a lot of doubts and fears at the beginning, because we're not sure, was that my spirit or was that something else? So, but also your spirit also provides you with that energy, those sensations of life is more than this reality, because it is experiencing life in multiple realities, right? So it's almost like your soul is that spark that lights up the body, so that we can have this physical, that we can move, that we can have this physical here, this material, right? So you have that spark and you have that spirit. So they work together, right? They work together to make you who you are. That spark has the willpower, has that drive, has personality, has all of that. Your spirit is more on the back end and can take the front end when you are uniting them, when you're becoming more intuitive, when you allow yourself to be who you are. They come and kind of merge, and they're like, hello, finally we're here. So when you think about, and there is a lot of back and forth about what is the spirit, what is the soul, and this is not this type of conversation today. But what I want to do is to make sure that we go over the shadow self, because the shadow self is that back energy that is working with some of the spirit teams and a part of your spirit team, or with your soul and spirit, and coordinating, as well as, like sometimes even the obsessor spirit. In spiritismo, there is such thing as an obsessor spirit guy. And it is a guy because it's coordinating what issues can you deal with now. So, but the obsessor spirits, they make your life go crazy. So they become part of your shadow, the shadow self, that energy of you cannot be fully clear because you still have things to do, you still have debts to pay, you still have things to realize and accept and ask for forgiveness and be forgiven and so on. So the shadow self can also be protector energies, where they're protecting you because at one point or another you made a deal and they feel responsible for you to keep you safe. So sometimes the shadow can be a part of you that is trying to keep you safe. I'm not going to let her feel, because if she feels, she's going to break down. So my job is to not allow her to feel. So I'm going to be a shadow that is going to be right on the heart so that she doesn't feel, or that he doesn't feel. So the shadow self can do multiple things. This is important because not every shadow is going to be negative or positive. And in some of, like, if there are a lot of signs that said you have a shadow or you have no shadow, and that could be positive or negative depending on how it comes in the sign, right? So for example, if he says you have a shadow man um doing some shadow for you, that means that there is an energy that is outside of you that is right there with you all the time. And it could be giving you thoughts, it could be giving you feelings, fears, doubt, or it could be a protector energy, where this energy is actually protecting you from unseen forces or whatever it may be, depending on what is your purpose and how the sign comes out, right? So the shadow, let's think about what is the shadow. The shadow, in order for us to have shadow, we have to have light. So if there is light, there has to be shadow, right? Because the reflection will create some type of shadow. In some ways, like even in ancient Egyptian, they believed that the shadow was very powerful because it was a protection. So anything that has shade was perfect. It was like, this is a protection because we have shade from so much sun, right? So, but when you really think about and you start going deep into what is the shadow, we all have it regardless, because we are the yin and yang. We are the light and darkness, and we have those twins within us. Everyone has those twins, right? Which is why the twin in the divine twin concept is very like new age, because everybody's like, yeah, like they resonate with that, because deep down we all have that darkness and light within us, and uniting them and doing it consciously makes such a big impact on our life, where we feel united with the things that are good, the things that are not good, and we are okay to be free, to be authentic with ourselves. And that doesn't mean, though, that I'm going to be a biatch because now I have my dark and I'm supposed to be like that. No, what it means is we are going to work with the shadow to integrate it into one with you, because once you start healing, the shadow is no longer a shadow. The it changes the purpose that it has. It has provided a purpose up to this point. It has created challenges. It has created so much within you, so many not only, but sometimes can be good, because sometimes something that is bad for someone can be good for somebody else, right? But mostly it has created a separation from who you're supposed to be here. And that separation is a challenge that you put there to overcome it, regardless of why you did that. That's another conversation for another day. But if you really think about it, the shadow is a separation, and it is the darkness within you that you need to overcome to feel that you can go back to the origin of who you are. So because it is a challenge, it's not going to be easy. It's going to have the ups and downs, right? So when it has the ups and downs, sometimes we can even feel a little bipolar, like, oh my God, why am I doing this again? And why do I feel like I'm being possessed right now? Because this is not me, right? Like, this is not who I want to be. But it doesn't mean that it isn't who you are, and you have to work through that to become the version that you want to be, the version that you know that you need to be, right? So, and that comes with a lot of ups and downs. A lot of release work needs to happen, a lot of visiting those parts that are repressed, because the shadow is repression, separation, is the darkness within us, is the things that we need to work through, whether it is from this life or past lives. And sometimes, even when people don't believe in past life, they will do their session and they end up in a past life, and they're thinking they're making everything up. And then 2 weeks later, they feel so much better. They're like, I don't care if I made it up, because I feel amazing. So this is the work that needs to be done here in order for us to release. There is no other way to do. Well, there are many ways, there are many different healing modalities, but I mean that in order for you to work with the shadow, you have to do deep work with your consciousness, a lot of acceptance, reflection, forgiveness work that will need to be done in order for you to really unite the shadow and make it into one with who you're supposed to be. So, but at the same time, one of the things that I want to mention is that because we are spirit and soul in one physical body, we also have the auric body, we have the pranic body, we have the light bodies, all of those layers that make us who we are and keep us safe for us to be incorporated into this physical layer. Also has a lot of, these bodies have a lot of potential to be doing things in other dimensions. And sometimes the astral body can be compromised by dark forces that some people have no clue that this is happening, right? So what does that mean? I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe she's saying that. But think about it. Your light body, your spirit is at a higher dimension than this reality here. But sometimes it's waiting for you for a long time to wake up, and it's just doing this like, hello, hello, hello. So sometimes when you are doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, you are compromising your soul, your spirit, and give the opportunity for dark forces to come in contact with you and take advantage of you, because that's what happens most of the time. They take advantage. They're not going to be like, hey, I'm going to trick you. They're going to make it seem that they are who they're not, and they're going to offer you something that you want. For example, it could be, I don't want to suffer anymore. Just please take this pain away. So you are asking, and they are giving you. In exchange, they're going to take something from you, right? They're going to take your energy, or they, whatever it is. That's why sometimes it feels like a lot of fatigue and tiredness, because part of our light has been taken, and we have to free that. We have to go through the process of doing that to free that part that has been taken, that is stuck somewhere, that is in a prison somewhere, so that we can feel better here now and we can get back our energy. Sometimes it's not just the fire within, but a lot more of who we are. So the spirit, the astral body, may be trapped in an experience where it could be with, I mean, it could be anywhere. It could be with the dark forces. It could be completely being attacked by entities and so on. And then you feel like something is completely off. But sometimes it is the traumas that we created or that were created in childhood that will keep us in those mental prisons, in the loop. So we have to also consider that not everything is going to be dark forces and entities, but that the childhood experiences that we had, when we work on them, we're going to feel so good, regardless of anything else that may be also happening. And what happens sometimes is that the person will go through layers. I'm going to work on childhood now because that's what this is my truth right now. But the more that they go deeper and deeper, some people have done a lot of therapy and even regression work, and they have done just the age regression. When they get ready for the next level, they come and they say, I did this so many years ago, and now I want to do this because I think there's more. And they end up going to experiences that opens them to another reality that they never considered before. So that your truth is your truth, and it's going to set you free if you accept and you do the work that you're supposed to be doing. So the shadow work is the collection of all the versions of who we were in other experiences that makes us who we are now. That's why when you do your life path number, it's going to give you clues. When you do numerology, it's going to give you clues. When you do divination, it's going to give you clues for you to understand who were you and what things you need to work on. Like life path 33 or life path 3 or life path 1 have issues with power, and now they might need to do a lot of work to get rid of the consequences of having all that power and the pros of having that power, right? Or accepting their power. So this is all very, I don't want to generalize here, but what you want to consider is that the shadow, along with your spirit, are going to bring a lot of opportunities for you to work on the things that you need to release in order for you to call back pieces of your soul. So you're doing soul retrieval, so that then the new energy can align because the old one is releasing. And then when the new energy comes in, you're just like, whoa, that thing is rising because you are a new person. So it becomes very exciting. And I just wanted to give you my observations, my perspective on this topic, because I think it's very important for us to realize that sometimes what happens in childhood is the anchoring in this life here for you to work on the issues from other experiences, so that is amplified and it becomes like a major thing in your life, a major pain, a major wound, major trauma, because you've been carrying that for multiple lifetimes. So it wouldn't be a problem in this life unless you have something similar happen here, because it's not going to be in your awareness unless you're deeper into like maybe life path 7 and life path number 9 and 11 and so on. So you want to consider that the things that you suffer here, a lot of them are going to be things that are going to be anchoring you in this experience, so that you know that you need to deal with them. But the origin may be coming from another experience, which is why sometimes people keep repeating a lot of the issues, because they worked on this life, but they haven't worked on the past lives. So just my perspective. I'm going to leave it here for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. See you guys in the next one.